skills can be developed, attitude cannot be. You need to have that attitude, the learning attitude, you need to have that. Unless if you don't have that attitude, you will not be able to learn anything. So what I look always is that how the person attitude is there and whether he's having a learning curve and whether can be molded. If it's a people, particularly in HR, if you see that, whether it's people person, so how grounded the person is, I think that is what is more important.
Hi, so this is Dr. Sapna Advani from IPS Academy IBMR. And guess what? Today we have someone such a charismatic leadership, charismatic personality with 30 plus years of experience. So here she brings diverse roles, diverse situational talks through which we can have lots and lots of learning. And we can't wait to see her. So here we have Kavita Kalikar madam with us. And over to you, ma'am. Can you please talk about your journey till now?
Thank you, Sapna. Thank you for such a nice introduction. So, as far as journey is concerned, it has been a really roller coaster journey since my childhood. So, just to start with, I belong from a Maharashtrian defense, so ex-serviceman family, wherein my father served Indian Air Force for quite a long time. And by virtue of his job, we used to move to city every 2 years, and that's the reason, I was born in Ghaziabad, and then I was raised in many cities all across India, be it Kanpur or be Baroda, and these were many of the cities were there. During my schooling days, I can say that I was never a academic student, which I was good at the sports, and I used to love that, be a athlete or be a badminton, or I was also a bit okay with singing, and that's what I used to do during my all my schooling days. So after a certain time, when my father decided to, take a VRS from Indian Air Force, and then being a Maharashtrian, we moved to Maharashtra, and we settled down at a place called Aurangabad, which is, around 250 kilometers from Pune around. Right. So we moved there, and then my further journey, which was related to my education and, my life, everything was started from there, I can say. Right. So I completed my schooling, and when I was in college, just I was studying my 12th standard when I was a commerce student, and just at the age of 18, it was my decision to get married. I had it was so early time. At the age of 18, I got married, and my husband, of course, he was from Aurangabad. Okay. And at the parallel time, so when I got married at the age, I was I just completed 12th standard, and I was studying. So I decided to pursue my education, and coming from a background, a background of ex-servicemen, um, wherein I said that, okay, let's try 2 3 things at a time, wherein I said, let me do one thing. One is about my education, and second, taking care of my family, and then I wanted to start my career as well. Right. So being a student and at the age of 18, the kind of a job what I could get was a kind of a front office, and that's how my journey started. So I started my journey as a front desk executive, and back to with the travel agency. That was my first job, and I did multiple kind of different kind of jobs, wherein I did my one was definitely this front office with the travel agency. Then I was a teacher for some time, and then I moved to the professional life of the companies, wherein always manufacturing industries was very attractive to me, and I was very attracted to that. Okay. So I moved to the companies, and there also I started my career as in front desk, and slowly, while working in the companies for years, with one company to the other, to the third one, I was taking care of. One was definitely my education, which I wanted to pursue, and then slowly, I completed my commerce graduation. I did my diploma in personal management. I did my master's in personal management. Amazing. During all this, my education, when I was working and taking care of the family, my family had also grown up, and then I had two beautiful children, a daughter and a son. Still then, when I was doing masters, I think, if I remember correctly, I was the third university topper So that was I learned how to balance the personal and professional learnings ever. And then I started working with the companies, and during that time when I was working in one of the companies, I still remember one of our HR manager was a female. And when I used to look at her, I used to feel that okay, she was a role model for me, and I used to feel that okay, I have to be like that. Banna hai to aise banna hai. That was I was looking for king aise hona, and that's how I got slowly attracted to it. HR, and of course, I did my diploma in personal and a master's in personal management. And being a very people's person, very close to all these activities which are related to people, I decided to jump into the core HR, I can say. Okay. But I never wanted to leave the manufacturing sector. Then, while working in Aurangabad for maybe 10 plus years, 10, 15 years, I can say.
Okay.
In 2010, I moved to Pune. Again, that was a very bold step wherein, my husband was there at Aurangabad and my children also were studying. And everybody was there at Aurangabad. But then I decided to move to Pune for my career.
Wow.
And I moved to Pune to join a very small company, which was a kind of a brownfield project. I was the first HR to join them, brownfield project. So my job again was, and my job was to, set up the entire HR department. So wherein it was starting with the formation of the policies or maybe, performance management systems. So all that kind of that jobs were there, which was very wild experience. It was a very broad experience, what I can say. And then I started working there. So I worked with them for around 10 and a half years. Okay. That is it was a very long journey. It was an Italian company and, I learned a lot over there and I really have a very, very high regards for that company still. I owe, today whatever I am, I owe to them actually. So, uh, my journey was like as I was the first person to join in HR, my designation was senior executive HR,
Okay.
and during the period of around 10 years, I was, slowly growing. The company was growing and I was growing with the company. And then that's how, after 10 years of a time, I was a director of HR in the company. And it was an amazing journey. And when I say that I was a director of HR, so it was not only the HR director as such, but I was the occupier. So occupier is under the Factors Act. It is a very senior position. So I was the occupier and the director of the company, wherein I was definitely a board member. I was responsible for the entire HR. I was responsible for the admin. I was responsible for the labor relations. I was responsible for the safety functions, so driving all the safety cultures. Then we had some, manufacturing related some programs were there. I was
Right.
leading one of that, and many more things were there. And when we started looking for new company setup, I was very co-member for that. So it was a great journey over there. And therein I got one more a very nice experience of having a industrial relations, where there was uh, at the beginning of the company, after 2 to 3 years of a time, there was a union which had come into the picture. And having a union, so again, that experience is completely different because I never had an experience how to handle union. It was a very generalistic profile wherein I was handling, and then this was something new for me, and that was a really great challenge. And I was able to sign a wage agreement over there, which was again, the union was a political driven union, and I was able to sign the wage agreement in a record time. And it was wonderful experience what I had, and that was definitely because of the company which they gave me an kind of exposure. I signed 2 to 3 wage agreements over there, and after working with them for around 10 and a half years, I decided to move out and I joined one German company,
Okay.
again as in director of HR. And I worked there them for a very short period. So unfortunately, that point time was 2020 was a time wherein we all know that was a very tough time for everyone, and it was a COVID time, And I joined them with the very passionate. I joined a German company, and I had many things in mind that okay, I'll do that, do this, and but unfortunately, I had a personal loss at that time, wherein I lost my husband to COVID. And that was a time wherein I had no other alternative to, and I was not in the mindset. It was such a shocking time that I was also suffering from COVID and all these things happened. And then I decided to take a break. And me during all this period, what had happened is that my daughter, who was already a mechanical engineer, she moved to Germany for her further education. She was in Germany. My son was about to move to UK for his masters. All this was a very struggling time, and that's the reason I was telling you that it was a really roller coaster ride. What I had been observing, admitted. And in 2020, then I decided, okay, let me take some kind of a break, and I really wanted to heal, and I wanted to, say that, okay, uh, let's take some time, just to understand what we really want to do, because I had whatever has to be achieved in the professional life, I think was achieved in a 20 years of a time, reaching, because any professional, what the professional thinks is the apex level is a director level, which I have already reached up to. So there was nothing else which I was. I was thinking that, okay, whatever I have to prove, I have proved to myself, I have proved to the industry, I have proved to my parents, I have so to the family. So what else? And I said, okay, let me take just a kind of a break. But somehow within a short period, so I lost my husband to COVID, and then immediately within a 1 month of a time, I had to get my daughter married. I had to move my son to UK. So all these things happened within a period of around 6 months, and a tough period. But I was able to, there is one book, I don't know whether you have read it. It's the name of the book is Tough People. Tough People. I don't remember it correctly. There's a book, I don't remember the exact name, but definitely I'll tell you. So that's how then I decided not to work. But somehow, my children said that either you decide that you have to move with us either to UK or Germany, or start doing something else. And that's how I said, okay, let me try something else. And then there was an opportunity which came in Pune for me.
Okay.
The role was a bit smaller to the roles which I had handled in past, but then it wasn't time wherein I wanted to give time for myself, and that's how I started working with that company. To my fortune, it was again a very a wonderful journey which I had with the company, wherein immediately after my joining, I had one more experience of signing a wage agreement, a very complex wage agreement with the union, again with the political leader, but that was again a great journey. When I joined that company, one thing definitely was again about the wage agreement, and the secondly, which was there was the company was going into a merger.
Okay.
And that was a kind of and that one experience which again I had was a merger of a company from US company to a kind of a Danish company, and then I was also been for a certain time I was being also nominated as an single person, global single person responsible for the HR. So if I was being considered as an HR coordinator, because there was a lot of things which we had to do. So it was related to the benefit harmonization or many things were there. So I was taking care of all that. So I worked with them for around 3 years. And then fortunately I got to move to Indore, so having one more opportunity, and I said, okay, let's try all out. And that's how I'm in Indore since last 1.5 year, and it's working with the company again and again into the entire HR domain. Enjoying a lot here.
It's really a pleasure, Kavita, to have you. And just when we talk about your experiences, the things you have gone through, you really seems to be a really tough woman. And so the book, I don't remember still the name, but I would really say that the book, the people, and you're fortunate enough to get everything timely. It's because many times we wait for the time to come, and when we achieve that particular position, we feel that no, that value, start decreasing. But in your case, it seems to be everything hits the time, and somehow we reach to that level.
Yes, I'm being fortunate for that. All the organizations wherein I have worked was really amazing, and I had great experience about all the organizations wherein I worked.
So why are you so much inclined towards manufacturing industry? Like, what makes you so much curious about that?
Yeah, I had seen, even though I have not worked in the other verticals or other sectors of HR or other, being a IT or maybe the other one, service industries, I'm always inclined to the manufacturing, because what I personally feel is that you get more and more exposure working in the manufacturing HR, because if I have whatever I have seen, IT industries, if you decide to be in HR, have a one vertical, like either you take care of talent acquisition, you take care of talent management. But here it is not so, because if I talk about my experience, I'd been handling talent acquisition, talent talent management, payroll, compliance, and you name anything, wage agreements, you name anything, and I'm into that. So the exposure what you get in manufacturing industry, that's amazing as compared to the other industry. That's what is I feel. I don't know, that's what my experience had been.
So I think nowadays HR is not just HR, it has been a fragmented domain. Like for an example, if you talk about learning and development as a separate domain, talent acquisition, then talent retention. So what message you wanted to deliver to the youth? Because nowadays people are really confused about the HR because so many new technologies are coming up and then AI has revolved the world upside down. So what exactly the message we can deliver to the youth who are going to choose the HR as their profession?
So gone are the days when in HR was considered as one vertical. Now is the days when in HR is a business partner. And you need to understand what, as a business partner, is expected from the HR professionals. HR works as an mediator, I can say. You have to balance between management and the employees, and that
Right.
that's one very important one. Also, when you work in HR, you need to understand how you are contributing to the business. It's not only this for the sake of doing for the people, but then what is that
Correct.
you're contributing to the business. I think that is
Right.
very important. What we need to look into as an upcoming HR professional, somebody wants to join in HR, they cannot just think of that. Okay, HR मतलब है कि भाई engagement कर लिया या फिर कुछ talent acquisition कर लिया, recruitment कर लिया. No, HR is much, much, much broader than what we talk about. It's a very wide field, wide.
So, if I ask you that one particular skill set you're looking for the candidate in order to hire someone for that particular position, for example, or HR, so what that particular skill set you're looking for into a student?
One is that X factor, what you expect to have. What I look for, skills can be developed, attitude cannot be. You need to have that attitude, the learning attitude, you need to have that. Unless if you don't have that attitude, you will not be able to learn anything. So what I look always is that how the person attitude is there and whether he's having a learning curve and whether can be molded. If it's a people, particularly in HR, if you see that, whether it's people person, so how grounded the person is, I think that is what is more important than any of the skills. What is there? Skills can be taught.
And one last question to cut it short. We also can talk about the graphology, because it's a very, something which everybody wants to know about. Graphology and dream analysis. Yeah. So can we just give a small hint about what graphology and dream analysis are?
Actually, we missed to talk about it, and this I think these are 2-3 hobbies which I follow. One definitely is a graphology. That really helps me at least also in HR. So graphology is do the handwriting analysis and you try to understand the personality traits. That is how that's a great graphology is really great, and I have, even though I have not done any kind of a certification, but that I have learned through my experience only.
Okay.
I have done more than 200 plus graphology, and that really helped me in my, while hiring also. So generally I see the signature, and then I try to understand the person, whether it's a team, so whether it's a person is a team player or not, or what kind of personality the person could have. And also, it also helps us to understand, okay, what are the areas which we need to work on. And definitely once we come to know about that, if we work on consistently on that definitely helps. So that is what is graphology. As far as dream analysis is concerned, when by the name itself, we feel that, okay, dream analysis is something, dream, whatever you dream in the night, and then what is the meaning of it? No. Dream analysis is basically, if you also have to analyze the dream, what are you daydreaming is also there. What is that you have to, it's basically a kind of intuition. What kind of intuition, if you're dreaming of something and you get to know something, you have to analyze that. What is that? There is some message behind all the dreams, what you do, whether it's a daydreaming or a night dreaming. And that is what we study through the dream analysis. And then we guide them, okay, this could be the meaning of it. That's good. And that's how we relate to that.
So can we relate to the manifestation part?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely. In addition to that, I am also international PRISM practitioner. So PRISM is one of the neuroscience-based psychometric testing tool. So I have been practicing that since few years. I am also international practitioner for that as well. So these are few of the hobbies. In addition to that, I sing a bit. So I love singing, listening music. That's also kind of a hobby which I.
So nice. So this was Kavita, and we got to learn so many things, experiences, situations, and really, the tough people really last. And so yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thank you.